Hello everyone, I'm Richie, but that's what they call me, only close people. For others I'm a man, plasticine, and such a nickname I got it for a reason. For example, I can do it like this, or so. Now it's clear why they call me walking plasticine. Soon, you will find out my plasticine is the result of powerful training, or pathology, and what it is like to be the most flexible in the world. But perhaps I will not torment you, and say right away, yes, I am sick. This is a congenital genetic disease in which there are disorders of connective tissues. They are very elastic and plastic. My skin can be easily pulled back by 15-20 centimeters, and the limbs bend and spin in almost any direction. And so that you don't get discouraged, I want to clarify that it doesn't hurt at all. And I feel great. You just need to be able to live with it. Namely, follow a few simple rules. When I was small in some way, I realized the secret of my uniqueness. Then I decided to use this for my purposes. I liked to surprise my friends. From kindergarten, I sculpted strange figures out of myself, similar to real freaks, tied up in a knot, and fooled around in this form in front of his audience. Other children liked it very much. They laughed merrily, and asked me to show something else. And these antics became the main pain of my parents, because after such concerts I had every now and then dislocations of arms, or legs, or various sprains. For this reason, I have been a regular client of trauma centers and orthopedists since childhood. And if in childhood I really did not understand a lot, and behaved like a real idiot without thinking about my health at all, then over time everything changed. I stopped being a clown, who at the click of my fingers, I will tie my hands in a knot behind my back, or throw my legs behind my head, and go for a walk on my hands. No, my ligaments are not eternal, and I need to take care of myself, so as not to fall apart by the age of 30. But still, sometimes in life there are such situations when there is no way without plasticity, and I have to use my opportunities. The fact is that recently my family has become tangibly rich, and the middle class. We stepped a couple of steps higher, and it happened thanks to me. No, my parents did not exploit me for their own purposes, did not send me to the circus, and did not put on a show with my participation. How could you think of this? Surely you have ever heard of such machines, the top of which consists of a transparent glass box, and inside there is a gold ingot, and if you manage to get it through a narrow hole in the glass, then it is yours. Maybe even one of you tried to get rich in this way. And in this case, you understand how difficult it is to get this ingot. But not for me. When my parents began to have problems with money, I could not calmly watch their suffering, and I really wanted to help them. Well, what can a teenager do who will not even be hired anywhere? Then I thought about the machine with gold bars. The order is richer, and I'm happier. By the way, they supported this idea, and the next day my dad and I went to the place where I got the head. This is a 20-kilogram gold bar. It looks light and almost weightless, and in fact even I had to strain myself, and I had to contrive 3 fingers stripped of blood. But even then, this is because I had never done this before. But still, the most difficult thing was to leave from the place of winning safe and sound. There were many envious and greedy people around who were eager to tear my dad and me to pieces and take my ingot, so we needed the help of the police and bodyguards. But now we could afford it. When our parents realized how rich we had become, they were outside ourselves from happiness, and rejoiced as children for our family. It was a real holiday, because our life had changed forever. I was glad to see my parents like that, and I wanted to consolidate the result. So my dad and I went for the gold bar a second time, and why not at that moment? I imagined how I would get on the Forbes list, and make gold mining my profession, and I was lucky again thanks to my plasticity. I took out another gold bar, and right there I danced with joy, realizing that I was holding fabulous money, for which you can buy almost all. The dads felt similar feelings, and was also incredibly happy with the second solid jackpot. But suddenly I felt a strong blow on my legs, and fell on the land, together with the ingot that was almost immediately pulled out of my hands. Dad suffered the same fate, but fortunately, this time we took care of our safety in advance, so the bodyguards and the police guarding us were able to return them at a price of a whole fortune, and the owner of the machine said that from this day we are on the black list, and I will no longer be able to get an ingot in any such attraction in the whole world. We went home, and on the way Dad said that now we do not need to change our home for a more secure hiding. It is not so easy and too many people wanting to snatch at least a piece of my ingot. On the same evening, my parents began to watch ads for the sale of houses, and we all really liked some option. It was a large house with 10 rooms, with a separate building for the personnel of the video surveillance system, and a security office. What is needed? Mom said that she and Dad would go to look at the house, and if everything is okay, then the next day we will go to arrange sale and purchase deal. And while the parents said to wait for their house along with a new ingot and money from the sale of the old one, of course, before leaving, Dad took care of hiding all the wealth in a safe place. So he dismantled the floor in the kitchen and made a kind of treasure there. The parents left, and there was night. But I was not going to sleep at all. Many of my friends very much asked to take a photo of the ingot and money, since they had never seen anything like it. At first, I was a little afraid, and then I decided to get the treasure out of the floor and take a photo with it. I took a bunch of selfies from different angles, laid out various inscriptions out of money, and was just fooling around. It seemed to me something interesting and funny, and then I heard how someone opens the door of our apartment, and I would have thought that these were parents, but literally 10 minutes I spoke with them on the phone, and they were hundreds of kilometers away from me. So all this was not very good at that moment, and there was no question of saving money and gold because I had to save my skin otherwise. I risked leaving this world ahead of schedule and turning into dust, hiding under the table or in the closet. It's very commonplace, and there they would find me in no time. Here my plasticity came to my rescue. I opened the kitchen cabinet and climbed into the trash bin from above, covering myself with some candy wrappers. Yes, I had to group as much as possible and fold 4 times. And even feel like real garbage. But it's better to meet uninvited guests. A few seconds later, I heard the voices of 2 unfamiliar men. They were delighted with the ingot and the money after all. Exactly for this they were here, but this did not prevent them from starting to look for me, and I am garbage, and there was only hope that they would not try to shake out this bucket. And soon they looked at me. They didn't understand anything, and then one of them said to the other, "Okay, let's go. The main thing that we had gold and money," and they left. You only knew how hard it was to get out of your shelter. My whole body was numb and sore, and I twisted my arms, so they dangled somewhere behind my back. But the main thing is that I stayed alive. Do not I know? Unfortunately or fortunately, but on this our story with fabulous wealth ended. The police did not manage to establish the identity of the robbers, respectively, and no one found money in gold either. We still have some part of the sale of the first. Subscribe to our channel.